Sirte, Libya, 8:30 in the morning, October the 20th, 2011. A convoy of 75 vehicles bursts out of a dying city, engines screaming, heading south into the desert. Above it, unseen, an American drone is watching. A missile flashes down. Then French jets finish the job. 11 vehicles become fire and twisted metal. From the wreckage, a small group runs on foot. Among them, limping, is an old man in a khaki turban. His guards drag him off the road and push him into the only cover left, a concrete drainage pipe running under the highway. And there, crouched in the dark among the rubbish, waits a man who once owned this entire country. For 42 years he ruled Libya. Kings bowed to him. Presidents kissed his hand. 3 years ago, 200 African monarchs crowned him King of Kings. This morning, his kingdom is a sewer pipe. His name is Muammar Gaddafi. And to understand how anyone falls this far, you have to go back to the night a 27-year-old signals officer stole a whole country without firing a shot. September the 1st, 1969. While Libya's elderly King Idris takes a medical cure abroad, a group of young officers rolls into Tripoli and Benghazi before dawn. Radio stations, palaces, barracks, all taken in hours and almost no blood spilled. At their head, a strikingly handsome captain from a Bedouin tent in the desert, raised herding goats, obsessed with his hero Nasser. By sunrise, Muammar Gaddafi is the ruler of an oil-rich nation, one of the youngest leaders on earth. And at first, the script looks familiar, the revolutionary who came to give the wealth back. Oil money builds apartment blocks, hospitals, schools. He writes his own political Bible, the Green Book, and declares Libya a state of the masses, ruled, in theory, by everyone. In practice, ruled by one man who grows stranger by the year, the Bedouin tent pitched in world capitals, the all-female bodyguard, the rambling speeches. The world laughs at the costume. It should have watched the hands. Because dissent in Libya is dying, opponents are hanged in public squares on television. Exiles are hunted abroad by hit squads. He calls them stray dogs. And his money starts arriving wherever the world is bleeding. Hijackers, bombers, guerrillas on 4 continents. In 1986, a bomb rips through a Berlin disco full of American soldiers. The President of the United States goes on television.
This mad dog of the Middle East has a goal of a world revolution. He is not only a barbarian, but he's flaky.
American jets bomb Tripoli in response. They hit Gaddafi's own compound. He survives. And 2 years later comes the answer the world never forgets. Pan Am Flight 103 explodes over Lockerbie, Scotland. 270 people fall from the sky. Libya becomes the most isolated nation on earth. Then, the strangest twist of all, redemption, bought in cash. After Iraq falls in 2003, Gaddafi does the math. He hands over his secret nuclear program, pays billions to the Lockerbie families, and suddenly the pariah is a partner. A British Prime Minister flies to his tent to shake his hand. Western oil companies queue at his door. In 2008, 200 African kings and chiefs crown him King of Kings of Africa. In 2009, he stands before the United Nations for the first time, tears a copy of the UN Charter, and lectures the world for 96 minutes. The man from the tent has never been more untouchable. He has 2 years left. December 2010. A Tunisian fruit seller sets himself on fire, and the ground begins to move. 1 month topples Tunisia's president. 18 days topple Egypt's. And on February the 17th, 2011, the fire reaches Benghazi. Libya's second city rises. Gaddafi's answer is not a promise of reform. It is a promise of extermination, delivered on live television, fist hammering the podium.
We will search for them inch by inch, room by room, house by house, alleyway by alleyway. Zenga, Zenga, I will die here as a martyr.
He calls his own people rats and cockroaches, but the speech that is meant to terrify Libya instead terrifies the world. The UN Security Council authorizes force. NATO jets take the sky. Through the spring and summer, his army burns under airstrikes. In August, Tripoli falls and the King of Kings vanishes, fleeing to the one place that never stopped feeling safe, Sirte, the fishing town where he was born. NATO bombs close in street by street for 6 weeks. Which brings us back to a convoy at dawn, a missile and a drainage pipe. The fighters who pull him out are boys from Misrata, a city his shells had flattened. Bloodied, dazed, the most feared man in Africa looks at them and asks, almost gently,
"What did I do to you? Do you know right from wrong?"
Minutes later, in the chaos of the mob, he is dead. Human rights investigators would later call it what it was, a lynching, not a battle. His golden pistol is held up over the crowd like a trophy. His body is laid out in a vegetable freezer in Misrata, and for 4 days, Libyans queue in their thousands to see with their own eyes that it is over. Before dawn on the 5th day, he is buried in secret, somewhere in the desert. No grave, no shrine, no marker. The man who built monuments to himself for 42 years got the one thing he never planned for, anonymity. But here is the ending nobody cheers. The strong man fell, and the state fell with him. Libya split into militias, 2 governments, a decade of civil war. The oil money that once built apartment blocks now buys rockets. From King of Kings to a drainage pipe, and from a drainage pipe, a warning the whole world is still learning. It is not enough to remove a tyrant. You have to build what comes after. This was the story of Muammar Gaddafi, told the Sankofa way. Go back and get it. If it moved you, tell us in the comments whose story we should tell next. Until then, stay upright.